While the original loadout is quite flawed, Commander, the Crusader has the potential to be one of the best modified mechs for our mercenary company. Let's go over everything you need to know about the Crusader in BattleTech Classic and how to use it to its maximum potential. After that, I'll show you an experimental design that'll fix the vulnerabilities on the original and turn it into a superb multi-role support mech for our mercenary company. Production year 2752, Star League era. Name Crusader, CRD-3R. Weight 65 tons. Faction all inner sphere. Role multi-role missile boat brawler. Benefiting from a long and successful production history, the age-old Crusader is equipped with a Magna Longbow LRM-15 launcher, Inktek medium laser, and M100 machine gun on each arm. Additionally, it's equipped with a pair of Harpoon 6 SRM-6 launchers on its hips, which help stabilize the weapon as the Crusader moves and shoots. Availability-wise, the design is a common heavy mech in the inner sphere, making up 2.8 to 14.6% of heavy mechs deployed by the Great Houses. It's produced from factories on Tharkad, Oliver, Asuncion, and Bernardo. Many of these designs find their way onto the mercenary market and periphery each year. Logistically, the Crusader is outstanding. The parts are relatively easy to acquire, and the mech needs half the maintenance when compared to other mechs its size. When it does come time to work on the machine, its easy to maintain design makes repairs a breeze. From a resupply standpoint, this makes the Crusader one of the best mechs to have during the resource-strapped Succession Wars. Combat performance, however, is another question. Offensively, the Crusader's damage output is limited by its heat sinks. While it has the redundancy of multiple weapons, it can't fire all of them without overheating. The Crusader should instead be thought of having two modes of fire: a long-range fire mode, where it fires its LRMs, and a close-range mode, with its SRMs and medium lasers. Defensively, while the Crusader has 12 tons of armor, which is quite good for a mech its size, it has major vulnerabilities at the structure level. Both side torsos have a 100% risk of ammunition explosion, and the center torso is packed with 2 tons of ammunition, giving it a 17% chance of explosion. Clever opponents will try to score a quick knockout by attacking the Crusader from the sides, and Crusader pilots will be particularly vulnerable to a center torso through armor critical hit during a brawl. Mobility-wise, the Crusader is acceptable by Succession Wars standards. Its 4-6 movement means it'll keep up with the main battle line. It should be noted, however, it's very reliant on other mechs to protect it in the early stages of battle, and may struggle to escape a bad situation. In lance compositions, the Crusader acts as a long-range missile boat for its unit, before swapping over to a brawler role to finish the fight. It brings a high critical hit potential with its SRMs, but needs its lance mates to open up enemies with piercing weapons first. A balanced lance composition might round out the unit by having 2 frontline mechs with good piercing, like a Black Knight and Hunchback, and include a flanker mech like a Wolverine for maneuver. While I have yet to analyze all the heavy mechs available to us, Commander, I feel it's safe to rate the Crusader as a C-tier mech for an initial grade. It's usable, but flawed. Its heat issues and ammunition vulnerability means it has to fight very cautiously, but its fantastic logistics means if we're able to fix the issues, we'll be left with a solid machine that's very easy to resupply and maintain. Unfortunately, none of the variants available during the Succession War era have solved the ammunition vulnerability issue, but I do think the Capella Confederation variant is a step in the right direction. The variant adds jump jets, so the Crusader can get in and out of a fight much better, but the lowered offensive power remains a concern. I think the MechTechs and I have created a design that will be much better for a mercenary company like ours though. But first, let's go over how to pilot the original to its maximum potential. The Crusader can be thought of as fighting in 2 stages, a long-range stage and a short-range stage. Good Crusader pilots will not panic fire all their weapons when under pressure and use cover to preserve their armor for the eventual brawl. As mechs are entering the battlefield, the Crusader should deploy in the middle of the initiative. Faster mechs who can reposition easily should go first, followed by the Crusader, and then the frontline mechs. Pilots should start by running to a safe position behind their frontliners and fire its LRMs along the way. The position should have cover and a good line of sight over the battlefield. As the fight opens at long and medium range, pilots should fire their long-range missiles at nearly every opportunity. The Crusader's vulnerability on the side torsos is a major risk if it gets flanked, and so by firing off all its LRM ammunition early, they can remove this vulnerability. Its goal at this stage should be to do moderate damage while keeping its armor relatively high so it can contribute to the eventual brawl. A short time before entering brawl range, that is, 6 hexes or less, Crusader pilots should dump all their machine gun ammunition and consider dumping their remaining LRM ammo. This will remove the possibility of an ammunition explosion in the side torsos and half the chance of it happening in the center torso. Optionally, if they feel they'll win the brawl quite easily, pilots may want to retain 1 to 3 rounds worth of LRM ammo to pursue the enemy with. Once in the brawl, Crusader pilots should fire off their SRMs and medium lasers while they look to finish off the enemy. The Crusader's leg-stabilized SRMs do the most damage, and so should be used over the medium lasers. If the Crusader kept its armor relatively high in the long-range stage of the fight, it could look to perform an armor-sharing maneuver. This maneuver will ideally draw enemy attacks onto itself to relieve pressure off a damaged friendly brawler. In this example, the Crusader closes to melee range with an enemy Orion. In this way, the Crusader becomes an easier target to hit for the enemy Orion, and also can't be ignored because of its 2 punches and SRMs fired at point-blank range. The damage-friendly Thunderbolt that was previously blocking for the Crusader can now choose to continue to fight where it is, or drop back outside of brawl range and support the Crusader with its LRM and large laser. If done properly, damage becomes spread across friendly mechs instead of concentrated on a single one. Now let's go over to the mech bay, and I'll show you an experimental refit that turns the Crusader into something much more usable to us mercenaries. We're designating this experimental Crusader CRD Slimex-1 and naming it Deus Vult. We're removing the machine guns and short-range missiles to make room for 4 jump jets, 2 heat sinks, 2 additional tons of ammo, and a medium laser. The refit shifts the Crusader into a reliable missile boat skirmisher that a mercenary company can use on any mission. Its ammunition is doubled, so the Deus Vult can support its allies over multiple battles, and its defense is increased by removing the chance of an ammunition explosion on the center torso and having the chance it occurs on the side torsos. It fights very similarly to the rare but successful catapult design, so if you're curious about how to pilot this new variant, please see the catapult video on this channel. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more.